What is an entity when implementing ORMs for server databases? Have you ever wondered how applications manage to connect with databases so seamlessly? Today, we are going to talk about a key concept in Object-Relational Mapping, or ORM, called an entity. Understanding what an entity is can really help you grasp how data is organized and accessed in server databases. In the world of ORM, an entity represents a real-world object or concept within your application. Think of it as a blueprint for how data is structured. Typically, each entity is modeled as a class in an object-oriented programming language. For example, if you have a class called user, it corresponds directly to a table in your relational database named users. Now let's break this down a bit further. The properties or attributes of the user class, like id, name, and email, map to the columns in the user's table. Each instance of the user class represents a row in that table. This means when you create a new user in your application, you are actually creating a new record in the database. Entities act as a bridge between your application's code and the database structure. When you define an entity, you are setting the stage for how data will be stored, retrieved, and manipulated. The ORM framework takes care of translating your operations on these entities into the appropriate structured query language commands. This allows you to work with objects in your programming language rather than writing raw SQL queries. Entities can also include metadata or annotations. These annotations specify how the class maps to the database schema. For instance, they can indicate which property is the primary key or how relationships between different entities are managed. This is essential for maintaining the integrity of your data. In practical terms, defining your entities clearly is important. It simplifies how you interact with the database and helps ensure consistency between your application and the database. This reduces the chances of errors and lets you focus more on the business logic of your application rather than getting bogged down in complex database code. To sum it up, an entity in ORM is the object-oriented representation of a database table. It encapsulates the data structure and serves as the main way to interact with the database through the ORM layer. This concept makes backend development more straightforward and accessible, allowing developers to manipulate database records as native objects in their code.